to dog sit our family German Shepherd at the house I grew up in Philadelphia, while they took their first them-only vacation since my brother or myself had been born. The plan was for them to be gone for 8 days, but the night in question, which is the third night after they had left, was reason enough for them to come home early. I was sleeping on the couch in the living room, as my old bedroom was now a storage room for my dad's stuff. At around 3 or 4 a.m., an explosively loud bang woke me up from a dead sleep, and my dog started going crazy. I assumed it was his barking that had woken me up, so despite being scared, my first thought was to sit up on the couch and to call him over to reassure him that everything was fine and he could go back to sleep. But just before I was going to sit up to do that, I heard a woman scream, "No, Dad, no," in absolute terror, followed by another incredibly loud bang. Immediately after, I felt tiny wood splinters fall into my eye from the wall the couch was against as they trickled down onto my face. That second bang turned out to be the sound of my neighbor shooting and killing his daughter. Those wood shavings that had gotten into my eye, they were from where the impact of either her body or the bullet, or even both, hit the wall directly on the other side of where I was sleeping. It had splintered some of the brick between our houses and caused my living room wall to push in a few millimeters. My head would have been pretty damn close to this spot had I actually sat up after the first bang to reassure my dog. Given that the bullet didn't actually come through the wall, I would have been fine even if I had sat up. But knowing what I know now, I'm glad I laid there for the extra second. Naturally, I called 911. I made sure my front and back doors and all the windows were locked. Within 3 minutes, the next bangs I was hearing were those of the police kicking the guy's door down and screaming for him to get on the ground. I sat at my window and watched them walk him out in cuffs and put him in a cruiser. It wasn't until the cops in the one cruiser had driven away with him in the back that I finally opened my door to talk to the other cops that were still on the scene. I told them what I'd heard and gave them a statement. A week later, I was subpoenaed to testify against him in court because it was claiming that the whole thing was an accident. However, I heard his daughter screaming before he fired the second round. No way that that was accidental. Testifying against him was terrifying, because if he got off, well, he was my parents' neighbor and I knew he wasn't above murder.